Today on Arts 24, I'm joined in the studio by two stand-up comedians based here in Paris. One of them is French and has a show in English called How to Become a Parisian in 1 hour. It's about to hit the 1 million spectator mark.
If you see a girl with a skirt, she must be expat. And if you see a girl with a mini skirt, she's from England. So, it's true.
Thanks very much. Our other guest is British and for the past year has been on a world tour from Montreal to Monaco to Manchester with his bilingual show Bisoubye, selling out some iconic venues along the way.
Ma fille, en fait, elle a 3 ans et j'ai envie qu'elle apprenne l'anglais parce que, en vrai, elle a que 2 influences anglaises dans sa vie. C'est moi et Peppa Pig.
Hello to Paul Taylor and Olivier Giraud. It's a pleasure to have you on the show. Thank you again. Now, Olivier, in your show, you talk about the quirks of Parisians.
Completely.
Poking fun at them. And Paul, you've gone a bit wider, and it's all French people. How would you sum up what it is that's so amusing and fascinating about French people?
I think part of it is that because it's one of the richest cultures in the world that everyone loves. It's in loads of films, music, and TV. I think that we tend to make fun, like comedians, we tend to make fun of things that are higher up. So it's why America's also a lot of the butt of a lot of jokes in the English-speaking world because they're so high up that it's easy to make fun of. So I think that's one of the things with France, that everyone loves that. There's no nation in the world that doesn't like to make fun of the French. So yeah, and especially as an English person, it's even more fun. Considering Brexit and all that's happened in the last couple of years, there's always that rivalry between the Brits and the French.
It certainly is. You've both been performing stand-up in Paris for more than a decade. You've both been regular guests on France 24. I wondered, have you ever seen each other's work?
I have been to see Olivier's show, but it was about 10 years ago, a little bit after I moved here. I don't know if you've ever come to see my show.
Never.
You're so busy.
I will come very soon, Paul.
OK, well, let's take a look at you, Olivier, in action.
How to become Parisian in a shop. So before shopping, you will need to know how to dress like Parisians. So it's very easy. Girls and guys dress the same. So it's always black top. If you're a bit crazy, you can put some gray, OK, like you. Where are you from? Paris, yeah. Then,
Olivier, you've done something like 3,000 shows, 3,000 performances.
3,000.
At this point, you talk about fashion, dining etiquette, romantic encounters, being on the metro, and the Parisian love for complaining. Is there any subject that is off limits?
I would say during my show, I do have like 8 lessons about like how to become in a shop, restaurant, taxi, metro. And I try to pick all the subjects that travelers or can be expatriated will live in Paris. And we all have fun about Parisians. And a lot of Parisians are coming to laugh at themselves. So it's great atmosphere.
So is there something, though, that you would never talk about, that you wouldn't dare, that's taboo?
I won't talk about politics. I won't talk about religions, for sure. Now it's harder than before. When you talk about sexuality, you have to be very careful. So you can't go too far now.
Well, Paul, you talk about parenting, having an identity crisis, and other personal life moments like getting drunk. Let's have a look.
Oh, no. I wake up at 4 in the morning, outside my hotel room, trying to get into my hotel room. And I'm completely naked. I don't know if this has happened to anyone else. And I can't get into the room, I don't have the key because I'm fucking naked. So I have to go down to the reception of a 5-star hotel because it's an Apple business trip to go to the guy and be like, lo siento, he dejado mi llave en la habitación. No sé qué pasó, no sé qué pasó.
Not so easy to choose one of your clips because we have to bleep the F
words.
words.
I was trying to figure out if that was a clean clip or not, and it's not.
We had to slightly silence it. I wanted to ask you on a more serious note. You gave up alcohol more than a year ago.
I did, yeah.
How is that going in Paris?
It's good. what the good thing now that the times have kind of changed, where people, when you say you've quit alcohol, there's less sort of like, oh, come on, just one, there's less pressure about it. But it is kind of difficult because in Paris there's less options than there are. We were touring around the UK, and everywhere there's a good non-alcoholic beer on the menu. Here it's just like basic beer that's kind of a bit boring in the bars. So it's kind of difficult to find a non-alcoholic alternative that isn't sugar tasting. Like a Coke Zero or a ginger beer or something that tastes a bit sugary. It's difficult to find that. So.
And what's it like being on stage? Do you find that you're more alert, that you're more productive?
Honestly, no. That's the thing. Like, I don't feel better. I've lost 12 kilos, I think, since we last talked, or I was last here. So you can tell from some of the videos, my previous videos, but I don't actually feel better. I look better, but I don't feel like I'm more alert or I'm more ready to do things. So you're
not a great advert for it, apart from the losing the weight. Okay, thank you very much. Okay,
No.
well, you are very busy though, despite that you are already very productive. That's probably why. You're both very active on social media. Here's one of your videos, Olivier.
Yeah, if you're not happy, go inside.
It is so true. It's really,
so
really,
French.
it's so French. When French people watch your videos and your show, do they recognise these stereotypes, like rudeness, for example, and can they laugh at themselves?
Completely. There is so many Parisians follow my account on Instagram or TikTok, and when you look at the comments, everybody say, "Yeah, I'm like this," and we are so proud of being rude. It never happened like doing after my show or on Instagram or TikTok. People are saying, "Oh, thank you so much. Now we're going to change. We're horrible." We're just proud of being horrible.
This is something that's in your shows as well, dealing with French people and the attitudes of French people, isn't it? It's something that we can never really get over as British people, as expats here.
Yeah, we're always too. I've come to love it though, because the thing is like in England, we're very. We don't like to show our emotions. In France, it's like a positive thing. They call it le flegme britannique is the term they use for our stiff upper lip. For me, it's like a mental health issue that we don't show our emotions ever. And it's kind of, I like how in France, if there's something not happy, they complain about it and they go out and they burn the streets.
There's no hiding people's feelings. You've lived here since 2009. I think your first show was Franglais in 2016. You've had more than 200 million views online through Instagram, YouTube and Facebook, which is really a social media sensation. You've made a name for yourself with your bilingual shows. I think you said you've done 110 shows already this year in 20 different countries. That sounds exhausting. Well done. But you said that this one, Bisoubye, is your last bilingual show. Why?
Yeah, I feel like I've kind of reached the capacity of what I can do with the bilingual show. I mean, it's been amazing for the past 7 years with the 3 shows, but I feel like there's an opportunity to reach different parts of France that I haven't been able to go to because they don't speak English at all. So I'd like to one day do a show only in French, but before that I'd like to do a show only in English, because obviously the whole English-speaking world, I've been to those countries, but for the French expats that come and see the show, but I've never sort of exploited the fact that I'm an English speaker in France, and maybe there's a thing that I can do for the English speakers across the world, so...
Well, you have been back and performed in the UK. Olivier, you performed in Leicester Square, in the theatre in London.
15 times.
15 times. How does it compare to performing in France? Is there a big difference between performing in France and the UK?
Big difference, because like when I played the show in Paris, there is people from everywhere. Like I would say 50% of French, and then you have 20, 30, 40 different nationalities. And when I played the show in London, it was very different. It was like English people and then 2 or 3 different countries. So I prefer to play the show in Paris, for sure.
I saw that you met the Queen.
Yeah.
And Kate Middleton. The invitation was in honour of your contribution to Franco-British Entente. When you meet such royalty, do you try and be funny?
No, I was very shy, And when I arrived at the English embassy, they told me, "Yeah, we're going to introduce you to the Queen." I was like, wow. Oh, I was very stressed.
What did she say to you?
It was, if the English humor was different than the French one. And she said, thank you so much for talking English during your show. It was amazing. But I was very shy, no joke. No selfie, nothing, just respect. That's the Queen. So,
well, we do have a photo of it.
Yeah.
We do have it, so it is immortalised. And Paul, you actually talk about the Queen in your show. Let's have a listen.
Et la réaction française, franchement, il y avait deux camps. Des Français qui étaient tristes avec moi et qui ont dit « Ouais, c'est intéressant, ouais, moi aussi ça me fait de la peine, j'ai l'impression qu'elle a toujours été là. » Surtout des gens âgés. Normal. Les gens plus jeunes, ils font « Hey Paul, hey, God save the Queen !» Eh ben ça, il l'a pas sauvé, hein. Ah. Ouais, c'est une bonne blague en vrai.
Over the years, Paul, you have done 3 touring shows. What are you going to do next?
I think the main thing is I'm going to start again from scratch in English-speaking countries, doing comedy clubs, doing 10, 15 minutes, trying to build an English show together. That's kind of the main goal for now. I haven't really thought about it too much. I don't like thinking too much in the future because otherwise I get bored of the show that I'm currently doing. So
Being in the present moment.
yeah, exactly. I've got 5 shows left, and then we'll see what happens after that.
Okay, and Olivier, you're soon going to have reached a million spectators.
Crazy.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
How do you see the future looking for you?
I'm going to play the show, I hope, a few more years. I'm going to try to make a lot of videos about Parisian life as well on the social media, and we'll see. But I'm still happy, you know, because like in 2023, you need to change all the time. I love my show. I love my life in Paris, so I hope I'm going to play the show like 50 more years or 60.
Oh, we hope so too. Thank you so much. Olivier's How to Become a Parisian in 1 hour is on at Le Théâtre des Nouveautés in Paris. Paul Taylor continues to tour with his show Bisoubye, with dates in France and Belgium. The final show will be at Paris's legendary Zenith on the 6th of January. Thank you so much for being here with us. It's been a pleasure to have you. And thank you for watching. There's more news coming up after this.
Hi, I'm Anthony Mills, Vienna correspondent for France 24. There's more to Austria than mountains, lakes and coffee houses, as wonderful as they are. Vienna is a seat of the United Nations and hosts international organizations, so there's plenty of high-profile diplomacy to cover. And every now and then, Austrian national politics goes global.
Anthony Mills, one of the 200 France 24 correspondents around the world.